Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the spammiest team for the Open Ultra League. And I took a look at a spammy team already for the Open Ultra League a few months ago. But then I wanted to take a look at the spammiest Ultra League team with Weezing, because I thought basically in the middle of the video, Weezing would have been really good for this team. And so now we have Weezing. I think some things changed in the meta in between as well, which might be good, might be bad, but we're going to have Greninja as our lead. We're going to have the face-up of Drapion and the Weezing in the back. How can you be the spammiest team possible? Basically, you always have to fit in Greninja. The main reason for this one, Greninja is the single Pokemon that is the fastest to get to moves on average. So, Night Slash is a 35 energy move, which has to be basically on every Pokemon a 35 energy move. We have Awkward Tail and we have Brutal Swing. And then you're gonna need the fast move that is either Greninja with the Water Shuriken, which is having a 4.66 energy generation per turn, or we have a move that has 4.5 energy generation per turn, which is like something like Fairy Wind, for example, or Poison Sting. And with this, you're gonna get basically the spammiest Pokemon possible, which is 8 turns or 4 seconds for one charge move, and for Greninja, it's 7.5 turns or I think it is 3.75 seconds on average to get to a Night Slash with Greninja, which is the spammiest Pokemon, Greninja. And so, yeah, we're going to have a team here. There are other Pokemon you can use as well. For example, Morpeko, which I maybe want to take a look at again as well here for this meta. But yeah, this team is a lot of fun. This team is very spammy, and it's honestly a very well-built team as well. You're going to have 2 Pokemon in the back that are going to be weak to the ground typing. You have a lead that's going to be good against the ground typing. You're going to have a face-up that's going to have the same coverage as your lead, which means a lot of times you get out the ground type, and then you're going to be able to punish them with the Awkward Tail, which is really nice. Here, Greninja is going to be able to go even for another Hydro Cannon to finish up the first battle, and we can move on to the next one. We actually need a little bit more fast move pressure here. Anyway, Meloma is going to be here against us in the lead. This is going to be a Pokemon where we can just go for the Hydro Cannon. This is going to be fine. It's going to do some solid damage. We're going to get there before they can go for the superpower. And so we are going to now stay in for a little bit too long. I wanted to swap out a bit earlier. I swapped out a little bit earlier. But I can use a shield. It's going to be a superpower. Now they're going to swap out very likely, and they catch the move onto a Tentacruel. Well played, well done there as well. We can swap out into the Drapion, which can have a very solid matchup here. Having access to Crunch is going to help out quite a bit, as this is going to allow us to do some very solid damage. And also, there's one more thing that I want to say, actually 2 more things. First, do you want to see more Ultra League content? I know that Love Cup is quite limited, which a lot of people I guess aren't like too happy about. But yeah, basically, if you want to see more Ultra League content, feel free to please leave a like on the video here as well. That just shows me that you want to see more Ultra League stuff. Would be really appreciated there. Also, of course, if you are at that, leave a like and subscribe maybe as well. But anyway, the other thing I want to say, there's always a link in the description, and I would actually be really interested, especially for Love Cup battles, but also for Ultra League battles, and yeah, for next week for the Master League battles, I would be really interested. So like, if you have fun teams, any kind of team idea where you're like, oh, like this Pokemon should be cool, I want to try it out, and then send me the battles. I would really appreciate it. I kind of want to produce at least 1 or 2 videos ahead as well, and I would really appreciate if someone can send me in some battles as well for like some cool teams. So like, if you have something interesting, something fun, feel free to do that. Would be really appreciated. And as you're gonna see as well, the opponent is going to have the Feraligatr, which does not really enjoy Greninja, and Greninja is gonna go for the spammiest spam here of them all. Look at them. This is amazing. We're going to have here the next fast move down against the Tentacruel, and with this we're going to be able to win the battle. And this should be a very good game here. Night Slash is coming through. It's going to be able to get the KO, and we're going to move on to the next opponent. I just checked as well, for example here, I got some battles submitted to me as well already for the Love Cup, which I'm going to showcase most likely tomorrow, which I'm not going to spoil what it's going to be, but like the team looks absolutely amazing. And yeah, this is a team, for example, here where they hit even the leaderboards with this one, so definitely interesting one there, and definitely something I want to showcase. And this kind of stuff is, yeah, what I kind of would like to see, like if you have some interesting team, some leaderboard team, a team that climbed like really well for you, like give me how many wins, how many losses you went for this team, all this good stuff basically would be very interesting for me, so feel free to do that. But anyway, here against the next opponent, I completely mess up, and I thought I would be able to fully farm them down, but with this we kind of completely lose it, because as we will see, the opponent's just going to be able to knock me out. I'm 2 shields down, I lost all my energy, I just forfeit there. And that's the thing as well. I'm honest with you with a lot of, like, with the battles and whatever. Like, I have battles as well where I completely get wrecked, like the one there, which is okay. Like, this is going to be happening for all of us, and that is totally fine. Like, there are always going to be battles where you're kind of more embarrassed about how things are happening. This would be one of them. Like, I lost there completely because of my own mistakes. I should have went more for more charge moves, went the more aggressive way, and at most I had a decent chance of winning the battle there. We don't actually know because we don't know what they had in the back at all. But like this, I completely just tried to play it a bit too risky, and the opponent was able to completely punish me there. Anyway, we're going to see the crunch coming through here against us. That is going to be okay because we can, or like against the opponent, we're going to be able to go for another crunch here as well. And we are not getting any debuff, but this is totally fine because we still have our Weezing in the back. Towards a Weezing, I am not too sure if it's best to have Overheat on this Pokemon. Like, it can work, but I don't think it actually was ever important for me. So actually I would say that Play Rough would be the best one because it allows you to, for example, hit other Greninjas of super effective damage, which would be really, really decent. And so we will see here the Oranguru against us. We're going to be able to go for the Night/Spam, which is going to be lovely. We're going to get the shield from the opponent. We even get the boost here, which doesn't really matter. We would have knocked them out no matter what. And this is going to allow us to get the KO here and win us the battle basically instantly because Rizian is going to decide to forfeit. Next up, a Bomber Snow. That is going to be a matchup where I want to swap out because my backline is a bit better. I could have actually stayed in for a little bit and then try to catch the grass type move, but we see here already the ground type coming in, and that is going to be great. But also, if I'm going to put myself into a position where I maybe have a shield advantage, I have Overheat on the Weezing, so this might allow us to just one-shot the opponent's Bomber Snow, which would be cool. And at this point, I maybe should have just left it, but I decided to use a shield, because if I would have left it here, I would have just been having the shield advantage, would have had a great time. But maybe you're still going to be able to get off here with a shield advantage. We are. And so now it depends on what they have in the back for us, for our Weezing, because Weezing has already one positive matchup. So as long as it's not a ground type Pokemon, we should be fine. Like literally, ground type is the only thing that really bothers me right now. I think ground types would be the only thing that actually going to be able to knock us out. Here I make a mistake because I just, again, did not go for the normal play and just go for the Night Slash. No, I tried to fully farm them down, which is a very silly play. And we have a ground type in the back. But what I think is, I'm fairly certain against Nidoqueen we actually could have won the battle if I had the shield that I just used on the Greninja. And I'm gonna check this real quick on the side, because I could see that 2 overheats would have been enough against the Nidoqueen. But again, that is my own mistake and I should have played this better. Next opponent, we're going to have a great lead. We're going to see the swap out into the opponent's Dragon and Dark type Pokemon, which is great for Fairy type Pokemon. And so we're going to be in a very solid spot, generally speaking. The opponent is going to just stay in here. Actually, we would have still lost. Like, actually, there was no way of us winning the battle. Don't mind me with the one before. We would have still lost the battle. We just didn't get enough damage in against the opponent's Nidoqueen if we would have played it out even with a shield. But anyway, we're going to see here the opponent's Talonflame came back in. We're going to be able to do some nice damage. But we also have 2 Pokemon that can deal with Talonflame. So I'm actually going to swap out here into the Drapion, which has access to the Awkward here. And we're going to get out the Poliwrath, and that is perfect basically because now our Water type is against the Talonflame. Our Poison type Pokemon going to be against the Fighter, and we're just going to be in a very solid spot here. So we're just going to go for the Crunch Spam. I know it's not going to be ideal, but it is still kind of okay for us. And as we're going to see here, we're going to decide to just go ahead and let them move go through. It's going to be the Icy Wind. We just need kind of our Weezing against it, and this is going to be totally okay here. We see the Crunch coming through. We're going to get the debuff. Even like Brutal Swing would be nice. We don't get the fast move through, and I make a big mistake because what I did here is I let the move go through, and that can really be impactful. But luckily, this is not the case in this case, because we are just going to be able to be in like such a good position from what we played before that we can now go for the Hydro Cannon here. We're going to be able to use a shield against the opponent as well. And we have a Fly coming in. I can go ahead and overfarm by even a bit more. And I can even go for Night Slash now in order to knock them out, because this is going to be definitely the way to go, because we can do a ton of damage here. And we should be literally in a spot where we are going to be able to win this one with an Overheat. Definitely needed the Overheat here. Overheat is exactly what we needed. Not. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to move on and we can win the battle. That's why I think like Play Rough is just a better move on this Pokemon. Anyway, we want to move on here to Walrein against an Elite. We're going to be able to go for the Night Slash spam with Greninja. Generally speaking, a bit of a neutral matchup. We both do fast move damage that is resisted. They can go for the Earthquake, which is going to be neutral. I can go for Night Slash, which is neutral on stab. But the opponent has more bulk, I have less bulk. But I have the option to at least hopefully get a boost here eventually, because honestly, we didn't really get that many Night Slash boosts. I guess it's only every 8th Night Slash that's gonna get a boost, so like I can't really expect it too often. But as you can see here, we are now at the 5th Night Slash already just for this game, so please boost would be cool. Not today. But anyway, we're gonna try to go for the full farm down here. I decided to use a shield here now because Earthquake is coming through again. And now we're gonna get rid of one of the biggest answers to our backline, which is really, really nice because like they have Earthquake. My backline gets one shot by Earthquake. And we're gonna get the boost on the 6th one. So I guess, yeah, a little bit above odds here as well. We're gonna have the 7th Night Slash coming in. Which is kind of mad that we have 7 charge moves from one Pokemon in one game, which is ridiculous. But we have one issue, and that is that we have an 8th charge move from Greninja. That is mad. Like 8 charge move in one game. We have one issue though. They have a ground type in the back. And I have no shields. The opponent has shields. There's no way I can win this. I did not even try. Like there was no way I can win this. They just have to go for 2 Earthquakes and I win immediately. So like that's the thing as well. We have an ABB style line. ABB style means you kind of want to keep your lead alive. You kind of want to keep your lead around. And so maybe I should have actually went for that and swapped out into my Drapion, but I just, like the Greninja matchup against Walrein is actually a very okay one. As you saw there as well, I was able to take down even the next Pokemon with my Greninja because I was able to go for 8 charge moves in one game, which is, honestly, I feel like the record for me. Like I have never seen, I think, 8 charge moves in just one game. That is madness. But yeah, Greninja is definitely the spammiest Pokemon. That's why Greninja has to be on the spammiest team. Literally, no matter where you're gonna do it, Master League, Ultra League, Great League, because it is literally the spammiest Pokemon by half a turn. So, what actually doesn't need, yeah, it's by half a turn. It's 7.5 turns, needs for 2 per Night Slash on average, basically. Because you need for the first one 9 and for the next one 6, because you have like energy coming out, like basically keeping over there. So on average, you kind of need 7.5 turns in order to go for one Night Slash, which is half a turn more than, or like less than any other Pokemon in the game who are having a fast move that generates 4.5 energy per turn and a charge move that is 35 energy. Anyway, as you can see here, Hydrokin coming through. That's fine, we're gonna still get to another Night Slash against the opponent. And with this, we are going to be able to get rid of the Virizion, which is great for us, and it's now down to the Steelix. We can still go for another Hydro Cannon. And we're just in a position here where we should be able to win this one. I feel like Hydro Cannon is coming through. We're going to swap out. You just have to reach the Awkward Tail, which you can. You see already this team actually is really, really solid. It is not even a meme team at all. Like, it's a very good team to run. It would be a meta team if you didn't know like even that this is just basically a theme team. Meloma. This time around, I go for another Hydro Cannon as well. And I could swap out if I wanted to go straight for the swap here. But I decided to go for, I actually decided to go for the full swap out. They're very likely just still gonna go for the superpower no matter what I'm gonna do, and then dip out into whatever they have in the back, which is in this case going to be the Drapion. I have energy advantage, which is really nice, and as we'll see here, Awkward Tail is coming through here. We're gonna be able to go for another Awkward Tail straight away afterwards, and we will be able to get the opponent into a position with another Awkward Tail. It's going to be enough, hopefully, here to get them down to another Awkward Tail range. Basically, can we outspeed them? We cannot, because we lose the CMP time. The issue here is, I think I have a rank 1 version of Drapion for the Ultra League. I think this is the best possible Drapion that you can get. And so you lose every single CMP time. That's something that I hear as well from other people that play Pokemon tournaments, that they build specifically worse Pokemon than others, mainly due to the Pokemon being common and they not wanting to lose CMP time, which is valid, to be fair. Like, it is valid. It is something that makes a lot of sense. And so that's the thing as well. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I really need to have the best IVs possible. Of course, I built my rank 1 Shadow Pokemon, but generally speaking, I do think that it is not always best to have the best IVs. I always think a little bit of an attack investment, like 2-3, is perfect, because then you're going to a lot of times just win the CMP tie, and that's going to win you more games than maybe the one bulk point that you get from it. So Yeah, I misplay as well, so last game, there were a lot of misplays in there for me, I'm sorry for that one, but generally speaking, build Pokemon with a little bit of attack in my opinion. I think it's most of the time better for you, especially if they're common, and that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like and let me know again, do you want to see more tricky stuff, and send in some battles down below.